Welcome to this week's episode of the Casual Shooter Podcast. This week you have Leo.
Hello.
Chris.
Hey.
And me. We also have, once again, another guest. This week we welcome Gianni Giordano to the show.
How are you guys doing?
Say hello. And if you would, go ahead and take a minute and introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Gianni Giordano. I live in northern Nevada. I've been shooting USPSA for about almost 9 years now. I started shooting USPSA when I was 8. And I just started shooting. My dad took me to a steel challenge match. And when I turned 9, USPSA, I started shooting USPSA and I was hooked from there, and everything else is history. But, yeah.
9. Wow. Well, now we usually ask the few getting to know you questions.
Okay.
So we're going to start with, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? It's a hard one. I like the Marvel stuff, so I don't really have a specific movie, but I like the Marvel series.
Okay. So all the Marvel series movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous question to ask somebody who's 17, because if he had said something rated R, we'd have to tell his parents.
Right. Okay, how about favorite book?
Favorite book? I haven't really read a book in a while. I do so much school reading, I don't really have a favorite book.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Do you read comic books?
No. If I do read anything, I read a lot of athletic coaches and stuff on like Olympians and stuff like that. If I do read anything, but
okay.
reading.
Wow, you're ahead of your
I was going to go with
time.
the John Deere manual.
Yep.
Yeah.
How to fix a swather. How about your favorite historical figure?
Historical figure. Probably George Washington. Probably.
Good answer.
Yep.
We all live in that area where he grew up and lived, so
Okay. That's kind of cool.
that's a good answer. How about favorite gun and caliber?
My Infinity 40 sight tracker.
So is 40 your favorite caliber too then?
Yeah. As far as pistols, yes. Rifle, I really like.
Okay. All right. What about rifles?
6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
Yeah.
So what do you have then?
It's a proof research built 6.5. He's the rifle guy. He has all the rifles. So we got a bunch of different
Okay.
laying around.
Nothing wrong with that. You got plenty of property to shoot it on.
Yep. My range is literally right in the backyard. So.
And that's cheating.
I'm so jealous.
I am too. That's why I'm calling it cheating, because I'm jealous. All right, since you like the Marvel stuff, who is your favorite superhero?
It's probably Iron Man.
I'm a little shocked
Yeah.
at that one. I thought you were going to lean more towards the Punisher.
The Punisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Iron Man.
That's just who he plays on USPSA weekend,
Yeah.
punishing everybody behind him.
We'll have to get you the little logo and put it on your jersey as you come out there.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get a little personal on this one.
Okay.
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay, you meet minimum requirement. Did you know that there is a height requirement to be a national champion?
Really?
Well, it's an unwritten rule apparently, because Leo and I were at last nationals, and all the production shooters came over, and they're all giraffes, every one of them.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yep. Mills.
So clearly there is an unwritten rule about height requirements
Huh. Yeah, I'm 6 foot.
that we didn't know about. So the good thing is you meet minimum requirements, so you'll be okay.
Yeah,
There's a 6 in front.
yeah. I'm 6 foot, and I
Okay,
felt
good.
tiny.
Oh, I know. Yeah, there's some tall guys.
Yeah,
I'm average 5'9", and I felt like a midget.
if he's wearing shoes.
with the thick soles. Okay. So how tall is Christian? Is he shorter than you?
Shorter than me. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know exactly how tall he is, but he's shorter than me.
So he's cheating the rules somehow.
Yes.
Yeah, he's cheating the rules.
Yep.
He sure is. We're going to have to ask him about how he's doing that. How much longer are you going to be a junior shooter?
I'll have another year in USPSA, but IPSC is 21.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
IPSC. Yep. IPSC's 21.
Okay. But another year still to go for
Yeah,
USPSA.
Yep. So I got one more year in USPSA as far as a junior.
So there's literally a chance that you could be the first national champion who's also a junior.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely got him for it this year.
Okay.
Yep.
You came extremely close.
At L10, yeah. Or
Yeah, at L10. If Christian hadn't decided to shoot that out of whatever, you definitely would have been the first junior national champion ever.
yep. Yep. I never shot IPSC before.
So are you going to the world shoot?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the world shoot if it does happen, but I'm also doing the nationals this year for qualifying. So we'll see if it happens, though. It's still up in the air. We'll know June 30th on IPSC for Worlds.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yeah, we had Mike Foley on,
Uh-huh.
and that's what he was saying. They'll know by, at the latest, June 30th. So
Okay. Yeah.
hopefully all this COVID stuff will move past and be able to have it.
Yep. For sure.
Are you part of the national team, or are you just going on your own shooting individually?
Infinity has a slot for me. I didn't place the top 12 or whatever it is 3 years ago. So I'm just now into the top few. So I'll be probably on the team for the next world shoot. But I can still compete and everything with them.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Well, good luck.
yep.
So you shoot an Infinity 40 in limited. Now, is that the only division you've been shooting?
I have open guns right now. I've shot limited my whole life. I shot open a little bit last year, just here and there, but primarily limited. I've shot a little bit of PCC too. My dad shoots PCC since he's a rifle guy. So yeah, I just primarily shoot limited.
Now, what is it about limited that you like?
That's what I started with, and it's what I've been shooting for 8 years now, and I love it. I like the challenge of it.
So you started shooting a 40 in competition at the age of 9.
Yes. Wow. I've been shooting 40 forever. I shot my very
So
first
really,
match.
we should just call you Superboy.
My very first match, I did shoot a little Glock 9, but when I turned, I think 9.5 or 9.5, 10 is when I started shooting 40. So I've pretty much been shooting 40 forever.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
I just want you to know, personally, this makes me very happy as the only guy that shoots 40 on this team. So thank you. Thank you for confirming all along 40's better. Thank you.
What do you guys shoot?
Two-time junior national champion, people. 40.
9.
9?
I shoot a Canic.
Okay.
Like world and national champion Nils Jonassen.
Yep.
Huggy also shoots a Canic, and Leo is a SIG fan.
Yeah, 320 X5. That's in 9, but I was shooting just a regular 320 and 40. And then I got tired of being made fun of. So it was hurtful because fat feels. And so I went to 9 because my friends are mean.
Gotcha.
See what you have to look forward to as an adult?
Right. I deal with
Doesn't
it all the
change.
time with some of the
Friends
my
are still
shooting
hurtful
friends.
and mean. And
Oh yeah.
So my question is, do you make fun of your dad because he shoots PCC?
No, not too much. No. He's the one that. Him and my mom
only
take
if
me
he
to
listens to
the-
this podcast.
I don't make fun of him.
Exactly.
He's the one that takes me all over, so
Smart.
better not be too mad, too mean to him.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
That's dad love right before Father's Day. Good call.
Yep.
So, did you last month you shot Nationals Limited 10?
Yep.
Did you shoot on the same squad as Christian?
No. I shot on a different squad with some of my other teammates. That was one thing I think I could have done a lot better if I did shoot with him, because I shot extremely conservative at that match. Super conservative at it. So the
Nope.
first day
Finish.
we shot the seven stages, and those were the biggest point stages. So that was my first day, and that was his last day. So my first day was really conservative, and his last day he killed it, and that's where he got me, was on the 7 stages. So if I would have shot with him, I could have saw.
Okay.
Better. So that's the only thing.
Okay. Very interesting.
I had a couple other little issues, just not being used to L10. Like I had this sitting there and I had to rack it. Just little mistakes like that kind of added up as well. So.
That makes sense. I can see that. I mean, a lot more reloads than you're expecting, so
Yeah.
I totally get it.
And it wasn't that bad. Like, it was a super cool match. I heard, like, last year it was torture. So this year was pretty good. I enjoyed the stages.
So, do you like shooting with people that are the same skill level or better than?
Yeah, so I always, like, as far as the super squad, I don't really care too much about shooting on the super squad. I like to have fun, and they're very serious. So I like to shoot with my teammates, and they're all open shooters. So they're extremely good, and I push myself to beat them, and then that's how I know, like where I'm standing as far as versus limited people. So as long as I'm keeping up with or beating my teammates as shooting open, that's how I know, like, how to judge where the limited guys are shooting. But there is advantages to shooting on the super squad. So, like, when I shot super squad last year, like, literally every 2 stages we would have fresh targets all the time. There was never, like, any shot up targets. So there's definitely advantages to it, but yeah.
Well, I didn't know they got such special treatment.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. I mean, I get it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have tough calls and stuff like that.
I'm not going to be... Yeah, they could literally decide, especially this year, that could decide the difference between first and second,
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we peasants don't get that. Like, it's not going to be a tough call for 200th place.
I'm requesting a new target, please.
Yeah, you're going to be like, sir, you need to sit down. We're going to kick you.
I need an overlay. No, you don't.
No, you don't need an overlay for a mic.
So
That's not how it works.
So here's my question then. When that first day you said you shot very conservative, how did you shoot in comparison to your teammates?
So my teammates, they were right with me. I shot with Andrew and Bruno. They were Andrew was right with me, and we were going back and forth. So that's how I knew he's a really good open shooter. So that's how I knew I thought I was doing, as far as pacing myself, really good. But I think that, like, on my last day, I shot really good, and then on Christian's last day, he shot really good. So it's just those 7 stages. If I could do it again, I would want to end on those 7 stages, just to be more warmed up and prepared for them. But I still felt really good about it. I shot extremely conservative.
Okay.
And that's what I've been working on. Was last year my accuracy wasn't there, but my time was. Like, I won by time, but I did not win by accuracy. So that is what I wanted to work on at this Nationals, was my accuracy, and I did that. So now I just got to blend the two together for this upcoming race gun Nationals.
So are you expecting to be on the super squad then?
I'm actually shooting, so Infinity's sponsoring Nationals, and we'll have our own squad, so we're going to all shoot together.
He's like,
So I will not be on the super
Okay.
squad this
he's
year.
like, who cares about that other people? We got
Now
our
here's
own squad.
okay. Well, and he'll have more fun. Like he said,
Yeah.
they're very serious.
Yes.
Now, Gianni, here's a question for you. Are you familiar with the Tour de France and how those teams work together?
No.
Okay, so what happens is they basically determine who their strongest teammate is,
Uh-huh.
and the other team members work to improve that person's position.
Okay.
So they'll put somebody out in front, say like a teammate of yours would be out in front, and you would draft with him, and then they would switch up another person to keep their strongest teammate, we'll say in this case it's you, kind of keep you fresh because you're not working as hard since you're drafting, and then for the sprint towards the end, you would take off to try to win the stage. So my question is, taking that same strategy, has it ever been discussed? I mean, I know it's an individual sport, but has it ever been discussed where maybe on each stage, one of those guys pushes harder than the others to give you a benchmark to aim for?
No, it's not been discussed. But that's a good idea.
I would have related to more
That
I would have
makes
related
sense
to
to
more
go
NASCAR
back.
than Tour de France.
Okay.
So, but I see.
Yeah, it's not really been.
I see what he's saying, and I was
Go ahead.
wondering, like when you had said before, that when you shoot with your guys, they help push you. And so, is there one particular guy that on that team of yours that like really pushes you to the max all the time, so that way when you get up there, you're going to even step on the gas even harder?
Yeah, that's Andrew Hyder. He definitely pushes me, and we both push each other, so it really worked out good for L10 Nationals, for sure.
So what is it going to be, 12 of you on your Infinity squad at Nationals then?
Yeah, there'll be 12, I think. We have a lot of people on the team from all over
Okay.
coming, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, on our team, Dave's the guy that pushes Huggy and I. 'cause
It more
we're
or
not
less
good.
pushes us out of the way, or pushes towards the bench.
Yeah. We're like, hey, let's try to do as good as Dave. So then we don't finish last. It works out pretty well.
Have you guys been down to the?
So you did
Talladega Range? No. It's pretty.
Yeah,
No.
we don't get invites to that.
So how do you like it compared to Frostproof?
Oh, way more. Like I would not blink an eye if I would ever have to go back to Florida. This Talladega range was way better. Way better.
Is that just a Florida thing or is that a Frostproof thing?
It's both. Both.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Talladega range.
All
was
right.
awesome.
That's okay. Florida's not a sponsor for us. That's fine.
Talladega is awesome. It's one of the best ranges I've ever been to. That and Grand Junction, Colorado.
Oh, the new range, yeah.
Yes. Yep. So those two are by far.
Well, and that one's not far for you, right? Grand Junction.
It's 9 hours.
Which
10 hours.
Okay, disregard.
We can 10 hours for us.
yeah, that's
we can
not
go a
too
lot
bad, but
farther than
I
probably
mean,
you guys.
still, that's a long time in a car.
Yeah. Yep.
So which one do you like better, Grand Junction or Talladega?
I like Talladega better. I like all the trees. Grand Junction is just desert.
It seems like Grand Junction's got a little more technology to it.
Yes. Well, so as far as like Talladega, they're improving their pistol ranges. So like the rifle range is crazy. When you go up there, they have a little monitor on there, and it'll show you your shots and all of that of what you're hitting and all kinds of stuff. But the pistol ranges have not been 100% finished yet. Like it'll all be pavement, and then like right where you shoot, it'll all be a grass type deal. Right now it's just gravel, but they're definitely working down at the pistol base, and they're going to add more, I think, as well. Because there's only I think there was only 15 bays, so they had a lot of 2 stages in 1 bay deal, but it's definitely a nice range for sure.
Noticed when they were live streaming it, there was one stage where you could see the shooter having to wait, and both the shooter and the RO were looking over to their left, so you knew that they were waiting for another shooter to finish.
Yep.
So they could start their half of the bay. So
Yep, there was like probably
I could see that, and
like
I'm
4
sure
or
the
5
more
of those.
I could see where having more matches there, the more matches they have there, then the more income I guess CMP would get to be able to
Yep.
make all those
Improve
upgrades
it.
and finish it out.
Yep, because
Yeah,
the
I'm
rifle
sure the live
Exactly.
streaming didn't hurt
super cool.
for people to actually see their capabilities.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and I would say for the longest time, CMP was more rifle based than it is pistol anyway.
Yep. Because that rifle range is crazy.
So,
Yeah.
I believe it. Now, when you shot with the Super Squad last year, and even when you shot Limited 10 Nationals this year, was there ever any pressure that you felt?
Oh yeah, Super Squad. There was a lot. It's a different.
Okay, and how did you deal with that?
I did okay, but not the best. I think I was 9th. Previous year I was 7th, but I had a lot more competition last year. So the whole mental game definitely was not there for last year. So I could have definitely been top 3, I think.
Okay. So
But
do
I
you
just
feel?
wasn't used to it? Wasn't used to that pressure because everybody is
I
coming
get
in,
that.
watching
And-
you,
and-
you know.
Yes, all eyes are on you.
Yep, for sure. Cameras.
So
and they have
do you feel in a
cameras
better
behind the
place?
stages.
No, that's okay. I imagine that was Shooting USA, but I was like, or do you feel like you're in a better place this year mentally to cope with that pressure?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. I come a long way since last year's nationals, so we'll see for this year how I do. But I
Okay.
think this year will be a lot more fun because I get to shoot with my team, and it won't be as serious as the Super Squad. So I think I'll have some fun.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think it'll be more fun for you. The implications are the same, but the
Yeah, and I think I do
pressure
a lot
maybe
better
not so much.
when I think I do a lot better when I'm having fun versus everybody's so serious. So I think it'll be good for me. We'll see.
You just made me think of the Joker. Why
That's
so
exactly what I was
serious?
This is how you know we've been together for too long, because I was literally having the same thought. We're gonna have to send you that shirt that says "Why so serious?"
There you go. So I assume that's also why you've been reading those sports coaching books.
Yep. My coach Mel has a lot of them, and I've been really reading them, and there's a lot of good information in them.
I'm assuming you know who Steve Anderson is?
Yeah.
Now, have you considered any of the Lanny Basham mental management classes?
No, I haven't.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said it might be something to think about for sure.
Now, what was your practice like leading up to Limited 10 Nationals?
So typically I shoot, like since my range is right here, I try to shoot like 100 rounds a day. I don't like to do major like 1,000 rounds a day stuff. I just like to do small little increment throughout the whole week leading up to. I don't shoot every day. Like right now, I'll probably shoot every couple days. Maybe just 100 rounds, 150 rounds. I'll do a lot of dry fire, but like leading up to a major, probably about a week at least, I'll start shooting every day. Leading up to a match.
So then it'll be the same thing for Limited Nationals this fall.
Yep. I'll probably train a lot harder then, but yeah. I definitely.
Now, why do you say that?
I definitely want to win this year. I'm 17 now, so I have one shot as junior.
How has the ammo pandemic affected you and your training?
Not much. I've got a lot of sponsors. I got berries. I'm good for several years.
Several years?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Wow, okay.
That's a good
All
problem
right.
to have.
That is...
We were prepared like 3 years ago for this, so we're good for a while.
Okay, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You were the first one that I've heard that you were fine for several years.
Yeah. We got quite a bit stockpiled.
Yeah, it's good to know that 14 or 15-year-old you knew more than we did 3 years ago.
That's sad.
Yeah. Like, cumulatively, we're like 100 times your age, and we did It's cool.
Well, it wasn't for my sponsors.
It's not embarrassing at all.
To be able to get a lot of that stuff, so I'm lucky as far as that.
I understand.
Yeah, we don't have that problem either.
Yes, and all of your sponsors, none of them sponsor us, so that's
at
why
all. I
we're
was gonna
in.
say, hey,
That's
we'll
why
put
we're
you
in
on
the
commercial break
state
right
we're
now.
in.
Okay, we're back.
I don't think they've ever heard of us before.
So I'm going to get a little bit more specific with something. When you're at nationals, whether it was Limit 10, limited last year, limited coming up, what is your? This is a two-part question. One, what is your warm-up like each day at nationals? And two, do you do any like dry fire or practice while you are at nationals?
So like before I always try to shoot before I'm like when I get there, I'll get there probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours before I start shooting. And then I'll just go to the practice bay and just shoot, even if it's like 10 rounds. It's just, for me, it's good just to get the first rounds out of the way, you know? So that's what I'll do every day at any major. I try to anyway. And then before I shoot a stage or whatever, I'll just do a couple little draws and make sure that, you know, everything is there and not moved or anything. But that's about it. I mainly just run the stages through my head over and over and over and over and just focus on that. Take one stage at a time.
When do you walk through? Okay, let me back up. Maybe it'll explain it better. When we were at nationals last year, I would walk the next day's stages the afternoon or morning prior, whenever it was we were free, so I would know what to expect for those stages. Do you do something similar, or do you do something completely different?
I walk everything. Like if we shoot Friday, usually I have all day Thursday, and I'll walk all the stages. I'll mainly focus on the ones that I'm shooting the next day, and then just rotate as I go through the match. But I always walk all of them and get a about game plan for each one, and then I focus on the ones that I'm shooting that next day really hard. Like if they're swingers, I don't even worry about the other ones. I'm only worried about what's happening the next day. Then after that's done, that night or whatever we're going to do, I'll watch the swingers on the next day or whatever the stage is.
So let's say the match is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You did your walkthrough Thursday. You shoot Friday. Do you then do you go back through and walk and view the stages for the next day for Saturday? Or do you just go with the walkthrough you've already done?
No, I walk them again for Saturday. And then once I'm done with Saturday, I'll walk the Sunday ones right after.
Do you dry fire those back at your room or?
No, I don't do any of that type of stuff. I mean, I dry fire just little reloads and stuff, but I don't like run actual stages through my head. As long as I know like what to expect on a stage, that's all I really want to know. You know, like if there's a harder target or a certain swinger, that's all I'm really worried about. But I just take it stage at a time. And if there's crazy stages, I always tell myself, like, you can't win nationals off this stage, but you can lose it off this stage. So
A good way of thinking about it. So are you more conservative on that stage then?
yeah, like stages that are like crazy, I don't worry about winning it, just get the points. Because like you don't really realize it, but when you're trying to win nationals, a mic is devastating on a stage. Like a whole hit factor and a half you'll be beaten by. So it's bad. So you gotta,
Which adds up to a lot of points.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get it. So what does your, other than nationals, between now and limited nationals, what does your shooting season look like?
I've got the Bighorn, which is down in that Colorado range in 3 weeks. And then July is solid booked back to back. I'm trying to think. I don't know exactly what all matches I've got. But July's back to back. August I have several, and I'm pretty much booked all the way to October. So like right now is pretty much my break. I'll have a couple weeks, and then I'll start again and be solid for a while.
Any area matches in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go area 1, 2, and 3. I have 2 more nationals to do. I've got probably 5 state matches, and then a couple sectional matches.
You said 2 nationals. So limited and what else?
Limited and IPSC. IPSC is in September.
Oh, okay. Okay. I gotcha. That's, is that in Florida?
Yes, unfortunately. It's in Florida.
I was going to say you can't get away from it.
No.
Sorry, Florida. You don't do it for them.
No.
Is it the humidity?
No, it's not the humidity. It's just I don't know. The range is nice, but sometimes it can get really congested. Like everybody it's just on a huge row of people shooting, and I do not like the sun there. It's bad. Like if you're the unlucky ones to shoot on the left bays in the morning, it's bad. It's really
right.
bad.
Yeah.
We've been there.
Yeah, we
learned our
have.
lesson.
Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
I remember a long time ago there was like headshots at like 20 yards, and of course it was on the sun bay and you could not see it. Like it was hard to see. It wasn't good, and it's unfair for the other shooters because you'll have some that have to shoot it in the morning and then some that have to shoot in the afternoon and they're fine. So where Talladega, there is no worry about sun, so everybody's more consistent.
Well, that's nice.
You don't have to shoot in the rain.
It's basically everybody gets the same opportunity, so that's good.
Yep. Talladega,
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
If like it did rain, not while we were shooting, but it rained, and it rained harder than Florida ever did. So, yeah, it's hopefully you don't get rained on in Alabama because that's not going to be good.
At least it's a warm rain.
Yeah.
It's a comfortable rain.
Yeah. We and last year at Nationals we started day 2 on the longest stage,
In the very back.
and it was it was a monsoon. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, stage 19. Yeah, that went
Yeah.
all the way on the long range, and it was raining. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. It's fine.
So a 42-yard shot with a plastic bag over the target just to make it look like a big blob. That was fun.
Luckily, I never had to shoot in the rain.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There.
The other ones weren't bad. I mean, all the targets were fairly decent range. It was just that one target
Yeah.
where I had never even considered that would be an issue until you get out there and you're looking at it from the start position. You're like, where in the heck am I going to aim? Because it's just a big blob. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out where I want to aim on the target. So it was crazy.
Yeah. I hate plastic bags over the targets.
So
They can't breathe that way, you know.
are you done with high school or do you have another year?
No, I have another year. Yep, I'll be a senior. I just
So
finished
has the Army Marksmanship Unit camped out in your yard yet?
once or twice. They've asked.
Oh, I knew it! I knew it! Those cheaters! They're cheaters! I was in the Marines, by the way.
Obviously, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, he is a prime candidate for them to come. Can we speak to Gianni? So anyway, whatever it is, I'm actually glad to hear they did. That's awesome for you.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean you're going to do that, but
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
100%, but yeah, I've got a lot of.
Must be
And
nice
I-
to feel wanted.
I've got. I work with Eric Steiner on the Range Panda, so I'm the one that does all the covers and all the CNC stuff. So that's been really cool, and I really enjoy the manufacturing stuff. And like Infinity, their shop is crazy, and it was like to work there a little bit would be for a few years would be cool as well. But I really enjoy that stuff. So
Okay.
that's probably what I'll do, and I have the farm. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate. Like shooting is a mere maybe 10%.
Yeah, you
what I
do.
on the day to day.
Yeah, it's nice to have a lot of options. That's nice.
Yeah. Yep.
And I asked that question because we had Julie Golub on the show recently, so
Uh-huh.
they tracked her down. That's why I was like, oh, you know what? Here's a high-level junior shooter. I wonder if they're banging on his door. And sure enough, I knew it.
Yeah.
That's how they get you, man.
So we've talked a little bit about classes, but have you taken any classes, or has this all been learned on your own?
So I went to the MGM junior camps when I was. So I went to the very first USPSA Young Guns camp that Phil Strader put on. He was at. Let's see, I was 10 when I went to that, and then every year after that I went to the MGM camp since I was like probably 15. So and I got to work with Max. I got to work with Eddie. I got to work with Shannon Smith, Travis Tomasi, Manny Bragg. I mean, I got to work with all of them pretty much. So that's where I got all of my foundation. And then after that, it's been pretty much on my own. And now I have my coach Mel that's really good with the Eric Griffell technique and understands that and worked with Eric a little bit. But that's where I'm learning now. So
The Eric Griffell technique? Is that win everything?
it
Not
works
a
for
bad
Eric.
technique.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still is.
Yep.
So what is the Eric Griffell technique?
It's just it's a totally different movement than any other guy that teaches. It's totally different from JJ. It's like it definitely goes against JJ's movement. It's a different look on things. Basically, there's a lot of stuff that adds up to it.
Okay. A lot of nuances, huh?
Yeah, just the way you take off on a position, the way you enter positions. What else? There's a lot of the reload implementations, the way that when you leave a position, as your left foot is coming, I'm trying to explain. It's hard to explain it without showing you, but your hand follows your leg. So as soon as you're done shooting, the last shot, the mag is out, you're already moving, and that leg is following your arm, and then you insert the mag and then you start running. Where you'll see people drop the mag like halfway and then try to load the mag, and it'll be an entire position to the next position of them trying to reload. Like, his technique is
that's exactly how I looked on stage 2 last year.
his reload technique is,
So I know exactly what you're talking about.
once you're done shooting, the mag is already in and you're already gone, and you can focus on running, because his idea is you can't reload and run at the same time. So you have to do one or the other.
And he's absolutely correct.
Yes.
He is absolutely correct.
Yep.
That's just science, guys.
I am living proof of that.
Yeah.
I literally had to slow down a little bit to get it in and then speed back up again.
Yep.
And listen, when you're our age, speeding back up, like there's only so many gears in your gearbox. Once you hit, once you're past 26, you're like, nah, we'll just keep it in second for now.
Right. We don't want a red line.
Yeah. You can blow it. Anything could blow out. Gasket, tire, your brakes. Yeah.
Yeah. Knees.
Yeah.
Sure. So your suspension could go.
Exactly. Your shock absorbers. I recommend fish oil for that one, by the way. Yeah. May as well start young.
Your goals. Are you the next Christian Seiler?
Maybe. So I really want to win nationals with limited, and then from there I'll probably dabble with open. So like right now I'm cross training with open and limited. Open's really helping with transitions and stuff, but my goal with that is if I can shoot, like, I'll shoot an array in say 5 seconds with the open gun. I'll shoot that array with limited in 6 seconds. Well, I want my limited gun to be 5 seconds. So that's what I'm working with right now, cross training. But once I can win limited, then I'll probably dabble with open a little bit.
Well, and I was just getting to an 18-year-old national champion in whatever division you wanted to be champion in.
Okay, yeah. Well, I really love 2011, so like it'd be limited and open for divisions.
I get that.
But are you aware, in order to... Here's the other unwritten rule about USPSA national champions. Did you know you have to have an active Instagram account?
I do.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that, by the way.
I mean, you've got to post videos to make everybody else look bad. Even if you're trying to be nice about it, that's what happens. And then be tagged in about 100 memes a day.
Yes.
It's hard to research somebody with no Instagram.
I have an Instagram.
Yeah, sure. For those of you that haven't seen his Instagram, it's like one thing. One singular thing
I need a
from 3 years ago. Listen, I don't do social media, but we have an Instagram page. I'm like, I'm going to look this kid up. I'm like, oh, there's a cat.
There's a cat?
What am I supposed to do with that, man?
What? A cat? Where?
I don't know what it was.
Did you find the right one?
I'm just saying.
I need a
I don't know. I don't even know.
I don't think you found the right one.
You're going to have to get him a social media director.
Yeah.
Yeah, manager. Yes.
You got to hire somebody.
Yes.
There you go. Oh, goodness. Okay, so you're a GM, limited GM. Did you get a bump to GM at Nationals for Limited 10?
I have not even looked.
Or were
don't
you
think so.
already?
No, I was not a GM.
Okay.
In
Are you
L10.
Are you classified in any other divisions?
I'm classified limited, open, PCC, L10, and that's it. Yep. I've not really.
Is there? I know you mentioned that you're cross training with open now. Is that when at some point? I know you like limited. So do you see yourself transitioning to open at some point later in the future, or just going back and forth between the two?
Once I win limited in nationals, that's my goal, is to win limited nationals. And then I'll go to open. Probably. I don't know. I'll see after that if that happens, and then go from there. But it's going to be either.
I feel like
limited or open.
limited will always have a really important place in your heart, though.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It really sucks, like when they have the limited and open at the same time, because I would really like to do both. So if they do both, that's definitely what I'm doing. I'll do both.
Now has Infinity? How long have you been an Infinity team shooter?
A little over a year now. They picked me up in 2020, the beginning of 2020.
Were you shooting a 2011
Eddie Garcia.
limited gun before that?
Yeah, Eddie Garcia gun.
All right.
So they picked me up in 2020. They've been looking at me, I guess, for several years before that, but they picked me up in 2020, and it's been an awesome year to work with them. It's pretty cool. Their shop is amazing. Words can't.
So okay. So you foresee yourself being in this realm of shooting for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Like as a career, probably not. Just I have a lot of other things that I do that shooting. Like there's not very few can make a career out of shooting. Very few, like a true career. Like you only have Max,
right?
JJ, Nils, and a handful of people that actually have a career out of it.
I agree. It is very difficult.
Oh,
You guys have any questions for him?
My questions.
I do, but I'll let Huggy go first if he's got anything.
So I'm good.
All right. Well, I got a couple. Well, 3 specifically, but it might lead to more. Do your friends at school know how big of a deal you are?
No. No. I homeschool as well.
Is that by design, or do they just not know?
They don't know. I've always
Okay.
homeschooled, and that's a big reason.
I mean, I'm just
why-
humble brag. I'd be like, guys, I'm kind of a big deal.
No, like I've been homeschooled pretty much all my life, and it's sweet because I go like from 8 to 10, and I'm done, and I have the rest of the day to do whatever else I do. So if it wasn't for homeschool, I would not be able to do a lot
Farm
of
work?
Yeah, that too.
Wow.
And we live 75 miles from the
Probably why
nearest
he's so
town.
smart. Too.
Oh, Lord.
All right, I'm moving to wherever you are because it sounds
There-
amazing.
We have no neighbors. There's no neighbors. It's just us.
Okay, you're not making it worse, by the way.
Right.
You're only making it sound better.
Yeah.
If you do find my Instagram
When does your
account,
day
the
start?
one- What?
Well, we do have to work on that. Yeah. Listen, I'll run it. I'll run it for free. I don't even care. We don't get paid to do this, so it's not going to change my life any. But like, when does your day start?
Well, it depends. Like, when we're full on farming, we're going to be starting pretty much next week. So there's 4 cuttings a year. So when we're actually cutting the hay, that's when we're swamp busy. We will start, as far as baling wise, my father will go out at 10 p.m. and won't come back till like 10 a.m. So all night, all the way around. So we will go out for rakes, any other type of thing. We'll go out probably around 3, 4. It just depends on like the time of year as well. Later on in the year, we'll go out a little later because of the cold, because we have to hit the dew on the hay perfectly. There's a lot of things, but it depends. Like an average day, like 6:30, 7. I'm not really a morning person. But when we're farming, it's early.
Probably not a great thing for a farmer, but
No.
yeah. Okay.
Now, Gianni, do you guys go out at that time to avoid the heat of the day?
No, so it's hard to explain, but the hay, when I mean dew, the moisture comes in on the hay between like 3 and 5 in the morning. So when we bale that, if you go out in the day, the hay will be dry and you'll lose all of your leaves. So you have to have that moisture in the hay so that it doesn't disintegrate, basically.
It's due to technique. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much about alfalfa right now. This is really exciting for me.
So
I'm not even being
it's a
facetious.
process.
Like this, I find this fascinating.
There's a huge process of it, but when I mean swather, the actual technical term for the machine is a wind rower. So what it does is it cuts the hay, puts it into a row. We'll wait a couple days for it to dry. It'll still be wet underneath. We'll have rakes with big machines with wheels on it, and it'll roll 2 rows into one. Then we'll let it dry for a little longer, like a day and a half, 2 days, and then we'll come back through and bale it, put it into a bale. And then from there we go out with our machines, with our mill stack, it's called mill stack, and it'll pick up the bales and then stack them. So there's a lot
Round
of
bale or square bale?
Square. We ship, all of our hay goes to
Okay.
California for the major dairies over there. Have you heard of Tillamook Cheese
Okay.
Factory?
I love Tillamook. Their ice cream's really good too.
Yes. So our dairy.
I don't know if you can tell, I'm an ice cream guy.
Some of our dairies.
So you're very
sell more.
important to my dietary intake.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you and your dad and your family for supplying me with Tillamook. Not a sponsor, by the way.
Who knew that Gianni was very crucial to you and your ice cream?
I'm so happy right now. I'm learning. I love it. Okay, so to get back onto the whole shooting thing, what division do you shoot for IPSC?
I don't honestly know. I think it's classic. I don't know. I just am told where to go. It's
Okay.
limited. I shoot my limited gun. I have the small mag
Got
well
it.
that I have to put on it. And then I have to have my little mags that I put in it with a special base pad. So I shoot 18 rounds in IPSC versus 22.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
And then my final question is, have you ever shot or have you ever considered shooting IDPA?
No. I've not ever. I'm so busy with USPSA and IPSC stuff that I will be anyway. I've not really thought about it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. The 2-gun
So
stuff
at
sounds
8
fun.
years of age, you shot.
Yeah.
So at 8 years of age, you shot Steel Challenge. Have you shot any more since?
Yeah. Yeah, so like when I mean still challenge is like they'll do the man versus man ones, where you have a bunch of stuff and you both race each other.
The shoot off.
I did that. I did that for a long time. And I still do that a couple times a year.
Okay. I'm sure that's got to help with the pressure
Oh yeah.
of
That's
shooting
totally different.
nationals, just because you're used to competing head to head.
Right. Yeah, it's a totally different pressure than normally like in USPSA. Like when you have somebody right there, shooting and you can see them shooting stuff, it's a different brain game.
Yeah. You got to you got to block that out so you shoot your game.
Yep.
It also makes breaking the 180 a little bit different. Like, ooh, a little bit higher consequence on that one.
Yeah.
Or you're like, oh no, I broke the 180. Oh.
No, he's answered all my questions, and
Well, that's all I had.
I mean, I just know he's a 17.
So you got nothing, Chris? You're good?
Gentleman who has better knees than me.
And way more shooting skill than three of us combined. For
It's
sure.
not hurtful in any way to our egos. It's fine. We're all married. We lost our egos a long time ago.
Another thing you have to look forward to.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
So, Gianni, do you have any final comments or plugs?
Shout out to your sponsors, whatever you want.
Infinity, I mean, all my sponsors. Berries was my very first sponsor. I got Berries when I was 10. They've been there ever since. But sponsors and family. But yeah, that's about it. I had fun though. It was fun.
Okay.
If I win nationals.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. We appreciate all the time, the information. It was fun. We hope to see you on the range. Until next time.
Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah.